The delicate clink of silverware against my mother's fine china is supposed to be comforting. A sound of family ritual, but tonight it grates like metal on bone. I'm wedged between Beckett and Sutton at the long mahogany table, nudging roasted Brussels sprouts across my plate while Aunt Margaret rambles about her Bahamas cruise. Beckett's flannel still carries faint streaks of drywall dust, and his work boots scuffed and worn peek out under the table. He catches my eye and gives me that small, private smile, the one that means he'd rather be anywhere but here. Then my mother presses her manicured hands flat on the table. The whole room freezes. Even Aunt Margaret forgets snorkeling mid-sentence. Before dessert, Mom announces, her voice bright and rehearsed, "Nicholas and I have something to share about Sutton's wedding." My fork hangs suspended in midair. Sutton straightens instantly, her influencer smile snapping into place like a reflex. "You know how much we adore both our daughters," Mom continues, and my stomach knots at the qualifier. Nothing good ever comes after that phrase. And we believe in uplifting family dreams. Dad clears his throat, adjusting his tie. Delilah and I secured the February 20th slot at the Alta Aspen Resort for Sutton and Tripp's wedding. Sutton squeals an actual squeal and Tripp pumps his fist like he won a championship. I lower my fork carefully. The Alta Aspen Resort. That venue costs more than my yearly salary. A celebrity couple backed out last minute. Mom beams. It's a once-in-a-lifetime influencer opportunity. It's the exposure alone is worth. How are you paying for it? The question leaves sharper than I intended. Mom's smile doesn't budge. Well, sweetheart, that's the thing. We accessed your trust fund, $48,000. Covered the deposit, and most of her words dissolve into static. My trust fund. The one Grandma left me? The one that becomes fully mine in 3 weeks when I turn 30? You what? My voice sounds distant, like it's echoing out of someone else. No, Isla, don't make that face. Dad's tone sharpens. Your mother and I are still trustees until your birthday. We have every legal right to. Did you just admit to felony embezzlement in front of witnesses? Beckett's voice slices through the room like ice cracking under pressure. He doesn't raise it. He doesn't need to. All eyes swing toward him. Dad's cheeks redden. He takes in Beckett's dusty shirt, calloused hands, scuffed boots. Then he laughs. Actually laughs. Felony? Son, I know you're used to bricklayer paychecks, but in the real world, parents manage their children's assets all the time. Maybe if you earned more than minimum wage, Isla wouldn't need family help. Dad. The word scrapes out of me. Beckett sets his glass down with calm precision. You have 72 hours to return the principal and the interest. If not, Sutton's wedding becomes a funeral for this family's reputation. Tripp snorts, phone already recording. Bro, what are you gonna do? Sue them? With what lawyer? I Googled you, man. Beckett Sterling. Nothing. No LinkedIn, no Facebook. You're a ghost. If you're not online in 2024, you're nobody. Public defender gonna squeeze you in between drug cases? I grip Beckett's arm before he can answer, his muscles rigid under my hand. Kitchen, now. He follows, and I catch the smug look Dad trades with Tripp as we leave. The kitchen still smells like turkey and sage. I lean on the counter, hands trembling. Beckett stands near the doorway, watching me with steady gray eyes that rarely show a ripple of emotion. They stole from me. The words land hollow. Grandma left me that money so I could buy a house, build a life, and I know. I'm 29 years and 11 months old, Beckett. 11 months. In 3 weeks, that money would have been legally mine, and they knew it. They planned this. He crosses the room in 2 steps and pulls me into his chest. I breathe in sawdust, soap, and him. For a moment, I let myself crack. Just a little. When I was 16, they made me pay my own college tuition while Sutton got a brand new Lexus. Whisper into his shirt. At 22, I paid off her $3,000 credit card debt because Mom said she was fragile and needed support. I'm always the fixer, the responsible one, the strong one who doesn't need anything. You're also the one they underestimate, Beckett murmurs, pulling back to meet my eyes. And that's going to be their biggest mistake. Before I can respond, Mom appears in the doorway. Isla, honey, come back to the table. You're embarrassing yourself. Straighten and face her. She's wearing her patient smile, the one that says she's the adult and I'm the dramatic child. Embarrassing myself? Something inside me cracks, not breaks. Just cracks like ice right before it fractures. You stole $48,000 from me? You borrowed it, sweetheart? For family. Sutton is fragile. She needs this spotlight to thrive. You're a survivor. You'll make the money back. This is about supporting your sister when she knows. This isn't about survival or support. It's theft. Her face hardens instantly. Don't you dare speak to me like that. After everything we've done for you, name one thing. The kitchen stills. I hear Aunt Margaret in the dining room asking if everything's all right. Mom's jaw locks. You have until dessert to apologize and return to this table like a grateful daughter. Otherwise, you can leave. Spins away, heels clicking sharply against the wood. Beckett touches my shoulder. We should go. Wait. I grab my purse and pull out my phone. My hands are steadier now. If they want to play games, they're about to lose. Back in the dining room, every pair of eyes follows us as we gather our coats. Sutton's crying, the pretty camera-ready kind. Dad won't even glance at me. Tripp is still filming, smirking. I stop at the doorway and look back at them, a family that only sees me when they need something fixed. Not anymore. 72 hours, I say softly. Enjoy your turkey. The door shuts behind us with a soft click that feels like a gunshot. Monday morning, I call the trust administrator before my shift. My hands shake as I dial, my coffee cooling on the counter. Beckett left an hour earlier for a job site, kissing my forehead and telling me to breathe. I can't breathe. Not until I know how deep this goes. Miss Cook, let me pull up your account. The administrator's tone is professionally blank, giving nothing away. Typing follows. Then silence. More typing. Is something wrong? I'm seeing some irregular activity. One moment, please. The hold music is classical, a violin piece that grinds at my nerves. I pace the living room past the second-hand couch Beckett reupholstered, past the thrifted bookshelf we found at an estate sale. Everything here we built ourselves. Nothing handed down. Miss Cook? A new voice, older, cautious. This is Gerald Hutchins, senior trustee. I need to ask, did you verbally authorize a $48,000 transfer to Sutton Marie Cook 2 months ago? My stomach caves. No, I suspected as much. Paper shuffle. The memo is dated September 17th. It claims you verbally gifted the funds for wedding expenses and would formalize it in writing before your 30th birthday. I never said that. I didn't even know Sutton was engaged until October. More rustling. Miss Cook, I'm reviewing the logs now. This wasn't spur of the moment. There were 3 separate withdrawals over 6 weeks, spaced to avoid triggering our large transfer alerts. Whoever did this knew exactly how to hide it. I sink onto the couch, premeditated, not a moment of panic. A plan? Can you email everything? Every document, every record, every file with my name on it. I'll send it within the hour. Miss Cook, this looks bad. If that consent memo is forged, we're dealing with fraud. Criminal fraud. I end the call and stare at the screen. 7:53 a.m. In 7 minutes, I'm supposed to clock in at the warehouse, manage shipments, fix other people's logistics problems. But I can't move. My parents didn't just steal from me. They framed it as if I'd chosen it. The email lands at 8:47 a.m. I'm late for work and couldn't care less. I download every attachment in a bathroom stall, hands shaking so badly, I nearly dropped my phone twice. The so-called verbal consent memo is typed on formal letterhead, describing a conversation that never existed and quoting words I never uttered. At the bottom, in crisp typeset, verbal consent, recorded by Delilah Cook. Cotrusty, the 15th of September, 2024. I photograph every page. Twice, then back everything up to 3 separate cloud drives. My phone buzzes. Email from Dad. Subject, reality check. Ela, your mother is very upset by your behavior on Thanksgiving. Ungrateful daughters who sue their parents don't remain in wills. We've given you everything, And this is how you repay us. Choose wisely. Your inheritance depends on it, Dad. I read it 3 times. Then forward it to my personal email with the subject. Evidence. Tuesday morning, my boss Karen pulls me into her office. She's mid-50s, soft-spoken, the type who remembers birthdays. Right now, she looks uneasy. Isla, I got a strange call yesterday. My chest tightens. From who? A man named Trip Johnson. Says he's your future brother-in-law. He seemed very concerned. She hesitates. He said you're having a mental health crisis. That you're harassing his fiancé and making threats. That your family's afraid you might be unstable. The floor tilts. That's not true. I didn't think so, she says gently. But Isla, he knew details. Your position. Your schedule. Even that you've taken longer breaks lately. Karen's expression softens. Are you okay? Is something going on? My parents stole $48,000 from my trust fund. I hired a lawyer. Tripp's trying to discredit me before I can fight back. Karen exhales. Jesus. Okay. For the record, your job is safe. But if he calls again, HR requires documentation. Document everything I say. I am. That night, alone in my apartment, I make a decision. Not the kind you weigh carefully, the kind that arrives already formed, like recognizing a fall midair. I open my laptop and check my savings. The house fund. $8,216. Every overtime shift. Every skipped dinner. Every birthday card with cash instead of gifts. This was supposed to be my future. I transfer $8,000 to checking. Then I search forensic accountants near me. Trust fraud attorneys. Martin Webb's site is plain, no frills. 30 years exposing financial deception. I send him the trust documents at 11:34 p.m. Riley. Donovan's page shows a woman in her 60s with steel gray hair and eyes like sharpened metal. Specializes in elder abuse and trust disputes. I email her at 11:41 p.m. By Wednesday morning, both respond. Martin's retainer, $4,000, Riley's, $4,000. I wire the money before I can talk myself out of it. This isn't saving for a future anymore. It's buying a chance to survive. Wednesday afternoon, Riley calls. I've reviewed the documents Mr. Webb forwarded. The forged memo is sloppy. Wrong notary stamp. Signature date doesn't match the conversation date. We can prove fraud. How long? I'm sending a formal demand letter today. Certified mail. Signature required. They'll have it Thursday morning. After that, we see if they're smart enough to settle or stupid enough to fight. 10:15 a.m. Dad calls. I let it ring. His voicemail is venom. How dare you? How dare you send lawyers after your own parents? You want to destroy this family over money? We'll destroy you first. Everyone will know what kind of daughter you really are. I save it. Evidence. Thursday, 6:47 p.m. The family group chat detonates. Tripp posts a photo. Beckett's rusted 1998 Ford F-150 parked beside Tripp's leased BMW M5. Caption. Maybe if your boyfriend worked harder. You wouldn't need to sue your own parents. 37 family members see it. Aunt Margaret comments, so sad when jealousy ruins families. Cousin Jennifer adds a crying emoji. I stare at the image Beckett's dented truck, faded paint. Tripp thinks he's shaming us. He has no idea what he's looking at. I screenshot everything. Add it to the folder labeled evidence. And wait, Saturday morning I wake to my phone vibrating like it's possessed. 37 notifications, 40-2, 56 texts, voicemails, Instagram tags, Facebook comments. My stomach knots as I tap the first alert. Sutton posted something. Of course she did. I open Instagram with trembling fingers. There she is, bathed in perfect morning light, eyes red and watery. Her voice cracks every few words. I don't usually get this personal, she sniffles, but I need to be real with you guys. Shaky breath. There's someone in my family trying to sabotage my wedding. Someone who's supposed to love me. Her lip trembles. I won't say who. I'm not that person. But they're suing my parents over money. Over my dream day. I can't believe someone could be that jealous. That's spiteful? 12,000 views already? The comments are a firing squad. Your strength is inspiring. Family should lift you up. Whoever it is doesn't deserve you, sis. My hands go numb. The phone rings. Aunt Margaret. Decline. Voicemail. I ignore it. Another. Kolkazin. Jennifer. Decline. More voicemails. Then the texts begin. Aunt Margaret. How could you do this to your sister? Jennifer. Your parents sacrificed everything for you. Uncle Tom. This is embarrassing. Drop the lawsuit. I sit on my bed, still in Beckett's old t-shirt, watching the phone flash like a slot machine. Each message hits like a punch. These people watched me work 3 jobs through college. Watched me pay off Sutton's credit card mess. They know who I am. None of it matters. Sutton cried on camera. So I'm the villain. The phone rings again. Mom this time. I stare at her name. Don't answer. It goes to voicemail. Then a text, I hope you're happy. You've torn this family apart. Sutton is devastated. Was the money really worth destroying your sister's happiness? Something cold settles in me, not anger, not hurt. Just clarity. They will never stop. Even if I dropped the lawsuit today, it'd still paint me as the problem. Beckett finds me an hour later, phone in my lap like a live explosive. How bad? He asks softly. I hand it to him. He scrolls, jaw tightening with every message. He watches Sutton's video in silence, then get dressed. We're leaving, where? Away from this. I don't argue. I pull on jeans, a sweater, my jacket. Beckett drives his battered Ford north, leaving the city behind. Leaving the walls of my apartment that suddenly feel too close. Neither of us speaks. The silence is safer. After nearly an hour, he turns onto a gravel road I've never seen. The truck rumbles over potholes until we reach a clearing. Then I see it. A house straight out of a soaked, forgotten Gothic novel 3 stories. Victorian bones, wraparound porch sagging on one side, paint peeling like shedding skin, 2 upstairs windows cracked like spider webs, 3 acres of wild grass and dead shrubs swallowing the yard. A disaster. What is this place? Beckett kills the engine. I bought the option on it last month. Stare at him. You what? Come on. Gets out. I follow through knee-high weeds to the porch. The steps creak but hold. He pulls a key from his pocket and unlocks the front door. It groans open like a warning. Inside smells like dust and old timber and faint dried flowers. Afternoon sunlight filters through grime-clouded windows, catching drifting particles in the air. The entry spills into a large living room with a soot-stained stone fireplace. Rotted carpet covers what might be hardwood. It's broken, Beckett says quietly, taking my hand. Like everything feels right now. I look at him really. Look. No pity, not even sympathy. Just understanding. But it has good bones, he adds, guiding me deeper. He points at the ceiling. Original crown molding. Under the water damage, it's still there. He kneels, pulls back a corner of the disgusting carpet. Dark hardwood gleams faintly beneath. Probably oak. Maybe 100 years old. We wander through the house together, the dining room with a built-in china cabinet, the butler's pantry with glass front cupboards, the kitchen that needs to be gutted. Upstairs. 5 bedrooms in varying states of decay. The master has a bay window overlooking the property, and through the grime I can. Back downstairs, Beckett takes both my hands and turns me toward him in front of that grimy old fireplace. We'll build our own life here, he says. With or without that money. With or without them. Something inside me shifts. Not break shifts. Like tectonic plates deep beneath the earth, grinding into a new alignment. I've spent 29 years trying to earn a seat at my family's polished Thanksgiving table. Trying to be seen, to be valued, to be loved the way Sutton is loved. Hoping that if I fixed enough problems, absorbed enough blame, stayed quiet and competent and endlessly useful, they'd finally decide I was worth keeping. But standing in this ruin of a house, I realize I don't want any of that anymore. I want this. This battered Victorian with good bones. This man who sees my worth without requiring me to prove it. This fragile possibility of peace, even if it comes wrapped in peeling paint and cracked windows. I want this more, I whisper. Beckett pulls me into him, and I breathe in the scent of sawdust and potential. We walk the property as the sun sinks lower. 3 acres of dead grass, tangled brambles, and a handful of trees that might bloom come spring. Ugly now, but ours. Then Beckett's phone rings. He glances at the screen, and something shifts in his expression. I need to take this. He walks 20 feet away, turning from me. I watch him answer and his whole posture sharpens. Straighter, sharper, controlled. His voice carries across the brittle lawn, cold and professional. Yes, I've reviewed the acquisition timeline. Board approval by Tuesday. Liquidity requirements met. A pause. No, the merger won't impact our current property portfolio. We're expanding, not consolidating. I freeze. Property portfolio? He keeps listening, and I catch scattered phrases. Due diligence. Purchase agreement. Wire transfer authorization. This is not a contractor on the phone with a client. This is something else entirely. He ends the call and stands still for a moment, phone dangling loosely, staring into the tree line. When he finally turns, his expression is unreadable. Everything okay? I ask. He cups my face in his calloused hands. Trust me, he murmurs. Let them think they're winning for a few more days. I study him, the gray eyes that never give anything away, the tension in his jaw, the precision, and every word precision, I'm only now noticing. What aren't you telling me? I whisper. Something that's going to change everything. He kisses my forehead, but not yet. Not until the trap is set. I should push him, demand answers. But something in his eyes stops me. Not deceit strategy. So I nod slowly, trusting something I don't yet understand. As we walk back to his truck, my phone buzzes with another group chat message. I don't open it. For the first time in my life, their opinions feel smaller than my own certainty. Whatever Beckett is planning, whatever he's not saying, I know one thing. I'm done fighting to remain in a family that never wanted me. I'm fighting to get out. The 72-hour deadline expires Tuesday. At 5 p.m. I watch the clock tick past the moment. Nothing happens. No call, no wire transfer. Just silence. Wednesday morning, Riley calls. There's a tightness in her voice I've never heard. We have a problem. I'm sitting in my car eating a protein bar that tastes like punishment. What kind of problem? Their attorney sent counter evidence. A pause. It's a screenshot. A text you sent Sutton 5 years ago after what looks like a girl's night out. My stomach drops. What does it say? What's mine is yours, sis, with a heart emoji. Her tone is cautious. They're arguing it shows a pattern of voluntary gifting, not embezzlement. It complicates things. The protein bar turns to dust on my tongue. I remember that night Sutton crying about a breakup, needing new boots to feel whole again. I bought her dinner and told her not to worry. That was about boots, I say, not $48,000. I know, but to a jury, it's leverage. They're framing it as intent to share assets freely. If we push forward now, this could drag on for 18 months with no guarantee you win. I press my head to the steering wheel. The concrete column ahead is gray, cold, and exactly how I feel. What are my options? Document the financial abuse. But it could cost everything you have. Her voice softens. Or you walk away. Sometimes the win is getting out alive. When the call ends, I stare at my reflection in the rearview mirror, dark circles. Defeat carved into every angle. My phone buzzes. A text from Mom. We're willing to be reasonable. Let's talk. Thursday night, I call her. My hand trembles. I hate that it does. She answers on the first ring, voice warm, relieved, triumphant. Isla, I'm so glad you're being sensible. I can't do this anymore, I whisper. Beckett watches me from across the room, unreadable. I'll sign whatever you want. Mom exhales like she's been holding her breath for years. I knew you'd come around. Family matters more than money, sweetheart. What do you need me to sign? She clears her throat, calculating. Sutton's pre-wedding gala is Saturday. 200 guests. It would mean so much if you came and publicly blessed the wedding. Show the family united. My jaw clenches. You want me to sign the waiver in front of everyone? It's not humiliation, Isla. It's healing. You've always been the bigger person. Beckett moves toward me and takes my free hand, warm and grounding. Fine, I whisper. I'll be there. Wonderful, she beams. This is the daughter I raised. She hangs up before I can respond. I set my phone down and stare at it like it's venomous. Beckett sits beside me, still holding my hand. I just gave up, I say. I let them win. He squeezes my fingers once, something I can't decipher. Friday afternoon, my phone erupts with notifications. Sutton has posted an Instagram story, her hand intertwined with Tripp's, rings shimmering. Caption, sometimes love wins. Family first. After wins. Comments pour in. So happy for you. Family is everything. Your sister must be so proud. I'm still staring at it when Beckett's phone buzzes. He glances, then shows me. A text from Tripp. Your girl finally learned her place. Maybe you should too. Beckett deletes it instantly. Then he pulls up a confirmation email. The Alta Aspen Resort. February 20th paid in full. $48,000 of my money? Non-refundable? They committed everything, Beckett says. I know. My voice is hollow. They won. He gives me a look I can't interpret and types something on his phone. Saturday afternoon, we're driving to the Mayfield Club. I'm wearing a simple black dress that feels like morning. The waiver sits in my purse, marked with sticky notes from Riley. Are we doing the right thing? I ask. Beckett adjusts his cuff-end. I see the watch. Vintage. Rare. Expensive. Patek Philippe. Worth more than my father's car? He notices me noticing and covers it, a small smile touching his lips. The trap only works if the animal thinks the cage is empty. My pulse stutters. I look at him really. Look. The flannel is gone, replaced with a crisp white shirt and charcoal slacks. No work boots. Italian leather shoes. Beckett, I whisper. What did you do? Trust me. His eyes are calm steel. Let them celebrate. Let them think they've won. Let them lock in that Aspen booking. The higher they climb, the harder the fall. The defeat I've been carrying twists into something sharper. We pull into the parking lot. Through the windows, chandeliers glow like hanging stars. 200 witnesses to my supposed surrender. Beckett parks and turns to me. The trap is armed. All we need is for them to step in. I look at the waiver in my purse, then at him. At the watch. At the man who's been playing poor while my family played powerful. Who are you? I breathe. He smiles. You'll find out in 2 hours. Ready? I take his hand. My fingers are steady. Let's spring the trap. The gala is everything Sutton fantasized. Chandeliers scatter points of light across the ballroom. Swan-shaped ice sculptures guard buffet tables. A string quartet plays something delicate, notes shimmering above the hum of 200 well-dressed guests. I stand near the back in my simple dress, while Sutton glides through the room in designer white, glowing like she's already the bride, posing for photos, touching arms, laughing on cue. Beckett stands beside me in a charcoal pinstripe suit, one hand resting warm against my back. You ready? He murmurs. I nod, throat tight. Sutton takes the microphone. The quartet falls silent. Thank you all for coming tonight, she croons, hand pressed dramatically to her chest. This is such a special moment for Tripp and me. We're so grateful you're here to celebrate our journey to the Alta Aspen Resort. Polite applause. Someone whistles. I especially want to thank my parents, Nicholas and Delilah Cook, for their incredible generosity. Sutton's eyes shine with what might be real tears. She's gotten good at this. Their generous gift made my dream wedding possible, and I can't express how blessed I feel. More applause, louder this time. Mom dabs at her eyes with a handkerchief. Dad stands straighter, accepting backslaps from Uncle Tom and Aunt Margaret's husband. And now, Sutton continues, her smile widening, I'd like to invite my sister Isla to the stage. 200 faces turn toward me. The weight of their attention makes my skin prickle. I force my feet to move. I leave my clutch on the chair. I won't need it. I cross the polished floor to where Sutton stands in her spotlight. She hugs me, whispers in my ear, "Thank you for being reasonable." I pull back and see Dad approaching from the side. He pulls a folded document from his inner jacket pocket, along with a gold pen. His smirk is subtle but unmistakable. He's savoring this moment, having the surrender signed in front of everyone. The room watches. Waiting for my capitulation, the responsible daughter finally accepting Herpless. Then Beckett steps forward. He doesn't take the pen. He reaches past Dad and takes the microphone from Sutton's hand. His movement is smooth, confident. Not aggressive, just certain. "Sutton," he says, his voice pleasant, almost friendly. "Could you check your email?" Sutton frowns. "What?" "Beckett, this isn't your email. Check it." Something in his tone makes her reach for her phone. The room has gone quiet again, but this silence feels different. Uncertain, I watch Sutton's face as she unlocks her screen, watches her scroll, watches the color drain from her cheeks like water from a broken glass. "Why?" Her voice comes out small. She looks up at Beckett, then at her phone again. "Why is my reservation canceled?" "I'm sorry." Mom pushes forward through the crowd. "What did you say?" "My reservation." Sutton's voice rises, cracking. "The Alta Aspen Resort just sent an email. Our wedding is canceled." She scrolls frantically. "They refunded the deposit. All of it." "Why would they? Why is my wedding canceled?" The last words come out as a scream. Guests murmur. Someone gasps. Beckett's smile doesn't change. Professional cold because I ordered it canceled. "I am the CEO of Sterling Hospitality Group. We acquired the Alta Aspen Resort last week." The room goes completely silent. I stare at him, CEO. Sterling Hospitality Group. The words don't connect to the man who showed me. A broken Victorian house. Wowers flannel shirts dusty with drywall. Who drives a rusted 1998. Ford F-150. Dad finds his voice first. "That's impossible." You're a laborer." You don't." Beckett signals toward the back of the room. A screen behind the DJ booth illuminates, flooding the wall with blue light. Documents appear. Transfer agreements. Corporate acquisition papers. And there, enlarged so everyone can read it, the forged trust memo. With Mom's signature, while a text message might delay civil proceedings, Beckett says, his voice carrying to every corner of the ballroom. The documented intent to conceal this transfer makes it criminal fraud under our corporate anti-corruption bylaws. He pauses, lets the words settle. 200 witnesses. Hearing every syllable, Sutton Cook and Trip Johnson are now blacklisted from every Sterling property globally. That's 137 luxury venues across North America. His voice never rises, never hardens, just states facts. There will be no wedding at Spen. There will be no wedding at any comparable venue in this region. You can't. Dad lunges forward. Two security personnel appear instantly, blocking his path. I didn't even see them enter. They're professionals, hands raised in calm warning, but their presence is absolute. The ballroom doors open. 3 attorneys in matching navy suits walk in carrying briefcases. They move like a choreographed unit, flanking Beckett. The lead attorney steps forward. She's older. Gray hair pulled back severely. "Mr. and Mrs. Cook. I'm Riley Donovan, lead counsel for Sterling Hospitality. Group, we have prepared a criminal filing for fraud regarding the forged documents to be submitted Monday morning. However, Mr. Sterling is willing to treat this as a civil misunderstanding if full restitution is initiated immediately. Total, $60,000. Mom makes a sound like a wounded animal. Nicholas, Nicholas, do something. Dad's face has gone purple. This is insane. You can't just wear her parents. We have rights. You had trustee authority? Riley says calmly, you abused it. The documentation on the screen proves intent to defraud. Your choice is simple. Pay now or explain your actions to a prosecutor. I watch Dad's hand shake as he pulls out his phone. He tries to look defiant, but his fingers fumble on the screen. Mom hovers beside him, whispering frantically. The guests stand frozen. Nobody leaves. This is better than any reality show. Tripp appears at the edge of my vision, moving toward the exit. Nobody stops him. By the time Sutton notices, he's already gone. The door closing softly behind him, she collapses into the nearest chair. Mascara streaming down her face in black rivers. Her phone keeps buzzing with notifications. Probably Instagram followers wondering where the wedding content went. Dad accesses his mobile banking app. His face is gray now, the purple rage drained away into sick resignation. I see him navigating through screens. Watch his jaw clench as he drains their liquid savings. When that's not enough, he pulls up something else. His emergency home equity line of credit. Mom sees the numbers, Nicholas. No, that's 4. What choice do we have? His voice is hollow. At 9:47, Dad holds his phone screen toward Riley. Transfer initiated. Priority status. Riley checks her own phone. Checking. I see the pending authorization code. It will clear on Monday. If the funds bounce, the criminal filing proceeds. She turns and walks out, her team following. The security personnel remain watching Dad with flat, professional eyes. I look at Beckett. This man I thought I knew. This man who let my father mock his bricklaying money. While wearing a watch worth more than their car, he meets my eyes. Good bones, he says softly. And I understand the Victorian house. The broken thing with potential. He saw me the same way. Worth investing in. Worth protecting. Around us, 200 witnesses pull out their phones, already texting. Already posting. By morning, everyone will know. The Cook family's perfect facade cracked open in front of everyone who mattered. Sutton sits in her chair, white dress wrinkled, face ruined, alone, and I feel nothing. Not anger. Not satisfaction. Just the quiet certainty that I'm finally free. The lighthouse beam sweeps across the water in its ancient rhythm, steady as a heartbeat. 6 months have passed since the gala, and I stand on the rocky Maine coast watching 40 people I actually love gather near the keeper's cottage. The wind tugs at my simple cream dress, and I don't smooth it down. There are no photographers here, no performance required. Riley Donovan adjusts her officiant's stole and grins at me. Ready to make this legal? I nod, and Beckett takes my hand. His calluses catch against my palm, rough spots from 6 months of sanding floors and pulling down rotten drywall together. Emma, my childhood friend, hands me a bouquet of wildflowers she picked this morning from her overgrown acre. Martin Webb sits beside his husband in the second row, both of them beaming. No, Nicholas. No, Delilah. No, Sutton. The ceremony lasts 12 minutes. Riley keeps it simple, honest. When Beckett kisses me, the waves crash against the rocks below, and I taste saltier and freedom. Later, we drive everyone back to the Victorian house. Our house, the one Beckett called broken but with good bones. I park in the gravel drive and stare at what we built. Fresh white paint gleams on the porch rails. New windows catch the afternoon sun. The sagging roofline stands straight now, proud. Inside, I pull on my paint-stained work gloves to show guests the crown molding I spent 3 weeks restoring. Each delicate curve stripped and refinished by hand. The stone fireplace we uncovered from behind cheap paneling dominates the living room. It's original,